Come on.
Yo, what is up guys, Punkerzz here, back again with another Advanced Warfare MLG tips and tricks video. And today what we're going to be talking about is how to find the right sensitivity in Call of Duty, specifically Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. But guys, before I get into what I want to talk about, if at any point you find yourselves enjoying the video, be sure to smack that like button, letting me know that you enjoyed it. It'd be much appreciated. And yeah, so let's get into what I want to talk about, which is obviously finding the right sensitivity. Now, there's a few things that I want to go over, so I'm going to kind of go down the list here. But there's kind of like three main things you need to think about when you're trying to find the right sensitivity for you, and then I have a little test that you guys can do which will really kind of lock in whatever like sensitivity you're trying to find. So the three things you need to think about are your role, your playstyle, and exosuits. So when I talk about your role, what I mean is, like, you know, obviously a lot of pro players are saying there's no roles in Advanced Warfare, you know, there's no OBJs and anchors, you know, you can call yourself an OBJ, but really anyone should be able to take on that role at any time, doesn't matter what, like, who you are and what your playstyle is. But what I mean by kind of roles is, like, you know, if you run an AR when you play, or you run a submachine gun, that needs to affect your sensitivity. So if you run a submachine gun, maybe you need to have a higher sensitivity, because, you know, you're going to be in close range gunfights. If people are jumping all around, you need to have a higher sensitivity, maybe around a 4 or a 5. But if you are an assault rifle, you need a lower sensitivity, around like a 3, because you're going to be having long range gunfights with other assault rifle players. Now, playstyle can change this a little bit, so you could be an assault rifle player who plays really fast. In that case, maybe a lower sensitivity, or sorry, a higher sensitivity than you normally would have. But if you're a sub player that plays really slow, maybe a lower sensitivity. Obviously, just change it up, you know, the way your playstyle makes it. And then you gotta take into account exosuits as well. So this is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, very different than other past Call of Duties, in the sense that people can be above you, below you, they can boost to the side. So you can't really rely on having a really low sensitivity, because if you, let's say, are in a gunfight and the guy you're having a gunfight with jumps up, and then while he's falling down, you jump up as well, you guys are pretty much falling past each other really fast. And so you can't really have a really small sensitivity or low sensitivity, because you're not going to be able to keep up with them. And so if you're a submachine gun player and you're usually in the hill, you can't have a low sensitivity, because you won't be able to keep up with someone if they're having a gunfight with you in a small space, because it's just not going to work out. I promise you, if you're falling and they're jumping at the same time, it is so hard to keep up with it, even if you're not ADSing. But now, a little test that you guys can do if you want to maybe find the right sensitivity, or maybe you think, alright, well, I'm not quite sure if 3 works for me, but, you know, it seems to be going kind of well, but I'm just not quite sure. What you can do is go into private match, alright, put on maybe 5 or 7 bots, somewhere in between there. I like to do recruit bots when I'm testing this, but obviously if you guys prefer like veteran bots or hardened bots, whatever you want, you can put those on as well. And then put the bot's health on 200. Now, this may seem a little weird, but what you guys are going to do is you're going to go into the lobby and you are going to hit fire only. Now, what this is going to show you is basically, can you stay on target with your hit fire shots while not ADSing, because when you ADS, you actually move slower. So I just, like, you know, to make sure that you guys don't think you're on too low of a sensitivity, because if you ADS, you're going to start moving slower, unless you have stock, obviously. But if you guys run a submachine gun, I don't personally use stock on my submachine gun, so that wouldn't really be a good test. But definitely don't think you're maybe on too low of a sensitivity if you're ADSing all the time. But yeah, so I made a video about centering a while ago, and centering is basically making sure your crosshairs are where they need to be at all times. And this has a really big influence on the test that I will be talking about. So basically, go try this test, see if you guys can keep your aim, or basically your crosshairs, on the bots at all time. If you find yourself scrolling over the bots, or maybe you can't keep your crosshairs on anything at all, try lowering your sensitivity. And if maybe you find yourself not being able to keep up with the bots, maybe, you know, you're on 3 and the bots keep running past you and you can't keep up with it, switch up to a 4. If it still can't keep up, switch to a 5. The only player that I can think of who runs a really high sensitivity is Fizzerp, and he actually made a sensitivity video during Ghost, which had a lot of these same kind of points that I'm talking about right now. But basically, go into a private match, try this test, see if it helps you out. It definitely helped me out. Most of the pro players run on a 3 or a 4 sensitivity. More submachine guns that I know run on 4, although I do have a teammate who is a submachine gun player who runs on 3, but he is a support OBJ, so he's not always in the hill. So, you know, he's also a hybrid player as well. So maybe if you are like him and you run a sub and an AR, you may need a 3, because, you know, you can have a sub out a lot of the time, but those few times you pull out maybe a bow or an HBR, or an IMR. You have that 3 sensitivity in the back pocket to use when you need it. But guys, I hope this video helped you out. Just go try this method out. If it doesn't help, be sure to let me know. If it does help, be sure to let me know as well. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like below, letting me know that you enjoyed it. I always love reading your comments as well. If you have a nice comment to leave, maybe suggestive, constructive criticism as well, leave those down below. I read them all, I reply to them all that good stuff. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you did. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next video.